Okay, so let's go back to our Bayes rule example and what we found in the Excel solutions. So we found the following. If high demand was forecasted, there was actually high demand for wood pellets 95% of the time. If high demand was forecasted, there will be actually no change in demand or a decrease in demand 4.6% of the time. And if no change or a decrease is forecasted, there will actually be high demand 73.5% of the time. And if no change or a decrease is forecasted, there will be no change or a decrease in demand for wood pellets 26.5% of the time. Okay, so you'll notice that the forecast for high demand is more accurate than the forecast when there's no change. Okay, now, so what does this mean? Should the company build that plant or not if the forecaster forecasts high demand, let's say? Okay, so let's look at more real numbers. Okay, so let's say if the company builds the plant and there's high demand, they're going to make $13.5 million. Okay, let's say that company goes ahead and builds the plant, but there's low demand or no change, they're going to lose $53.6 million. Okay, now, let's say they don't build the plant and there's high demand. Well, they're only going to make 8.65, so less than if they built the plant because they can't keep up with their demand, so they can only sell as much as they can make here, but they still make 8.65 million. Now, what's good is if there's low demand or no change, they still make money instead of losing it now. They make 1.63 million. Let's look at this in a payoff table. Here it is. Okay, build a new plant, yes or no, increase in demand or no change, and here are all of our possible payoffs. Okay, now let's add to that the probabilities as well. So here we are with the 90% and the 10%, the odds of an increase in demand or no change. Okay, these probabilities help us get our EMVs, which we saw in the previous videos for calculating EMVs. We do the sum product between our payoffs and our probabilities to get each of the EMVs. Now, based off of these EMVs, we should not build the plant because the higher EMV is for the build plant no at 7.95 million. Okay, but problem. These aren't the probabilities from the forecaster. These were just kind of our original overall probabilities. Question, can we do better? Yes, we can if we use those forecasts. Okay, so suppose the forecaster forecasted high demand. Okay, then what? Then, back to our payoff table, then the following is true, that 90% changes to 95% if the forecaster forecasted high demand. And that 10% changes to a 4.6%. And this changes our EMVs. Okay, they are going to change now to 10.39 and 8.32. Okay, which then changes our optimal decision to yes, where our optimal EMV is that 10.39 million. Okay, let's now look at how we get this EMV in Excel. Okay, so here is our regular payoff table without any forecasts attached to it. Remember, our EMVs here are the sum products for both of the payoffs with the probabilities. Now, what if we're talking about when the forecaster forecasts high demand? Well, first thing we should go do are grab the corresponding probabilities. Sorry, we're going to go grab those from our Bayes rule calculation sheet. So right over here, I'm going to grab my probability here. The first one is that 0.95. Okay, and then the second one here is the 0.04. So remember, in our case, we're talking about the forecaster forecasting high demand. So we're here in this row right here. The forecaster forecasting high demand. Is there actual high demand? Yes, 95% of the time. Is there not high demand? Yes, but only 4.6% of the time. That is where these probabilities come from. Oh, so sorry. Just grab it this way too. Beautiful. So there they are. We're now ready to go get our EMVs related to if the forecaster has already forecasted high demand. So the high demand has already happened. Then we do the sum product here on these new probabilities. And again, these probabilities change because we're talking about the forecaster already having forecasted high demand. So we do the sum product with those and these payoffs right here. And then just copy that over. Beautiful.